Ayo, what's up everyone? It is your boy Shazman21 and welcome to another video by your boy Shazman21. So for this video, I'm going to be talking about steroids. More specifically, that, the situation that's going on with teenagers, having a disproportionate amount of steroids um, in their system and how it's like really affecting them, and not only like the short term but the long term, and just all types of like not so great things about steroids or whatnot. So I did some bit of research, looking into steroids and the side effects, and just like how bad of a risk it is to like pretty much take, even if you're like a teenager too. And just like it's a it's a doozy to like look into. I'll link some of that in the description below to like let you guys like check out a few sources that I kind of just you know I wouldn't say take, but just like oh, actually, yeah, pretty much took, but just like in a way that's just like explaining my point as to why steroids is a bad thing. Give me a second, guys. Anyways, I'm back. Just to help out with the family and stuff real quick, but yeah, just what was I saying? Oh yeah, just like how steroids is like pretty bad at times, and it's just like again, this one is like a lot more difficult to talk about because like again, there are some people that do use steroids, and they're pretty okay and wonderful people at times, but it's just like again it's a big risk to like take steroids or anything like PEDs or just stuff like that. Like it's a bit of a doozy. So like for example, I kind of just looked up a little bit on the wiki. What I'm saying, shout out to Wikipedia, but this just like paraphrasing what is actually said. Actually. Oh God, no. Um, yeah. Sorry that happened, but yeah, my mom was playing as a monster for some reason. Did not expect this to end up being a comedy skit all of a sudden, but yeah. Shout out to my mom. We're playing a little pipsqueak monster that's trying to eat me alive. As someone that's like 6 foot even, it's a different story when a tiny little monster tries to like eat you alive. And this is how I feel about my tall brethren sometimes, with them like short little pipsqueaks where they just do the most. But we'll talk about that another time. Anyways, on to serious topics here. But yeah, in the wiki it says steroids are man-made versions of the chemicals in a human's body known as hormones, and its intended use is to reduce inflammation. Now, on Wiki, it's gonna say pretty much the same thing, but just again, it's gonna be entirely different. I just kind of just added, some paraphrasing on there, but yeah, it's pretty much like a man-made version of what is essentially the hormones in our bodies that we naturally produce. Man, woman, they, thems, or whatever. We all produce, hormones that like make us who we are, as adult human beings, out here doing our human being stuff. God, I sound like an alien there, but I'm just saying, like, that's just what hormones are pretty much essentially doing, and they make us pretty much like function and give us a lot of like a lot of interesting stuff too. If you're a boy, you get like a deeper voice, or sometimes not, or you get like relatively like strong or whatnot. Whereas like I think for the girls, I'm trying to remember because it's been a minute since I've been in high school, so I think for the girls, it's a little bit different because they do have like hormones, but they just like act completely different.
Are in general operating at 40% of a higher hormone level than men.
40% of a higher hormone
In
level
general.
in general.
Mm-hmm.
That would make sense. And is it like completely different sometimes, Mom? Just like it's just like how it's like structured too, because like just biologically as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because like
So,
the girls usually have like more estrogen, right?
right.
Okay.
I mean, but we also have a certain amount of testosterone in
Oh,
our
like a
blood
certain amount.
too,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and men also have a certain amount
Of
of
estrogen.
estrogen.
Okay, that would make sense.
And whatever sex you are, the opposite it increases as you get older.
That would make sense. Yeah, thanks. Mm. Thanks for that, Mom.
Where's my
Appreciate it.
hammer?
Um, but yeah, that's pretty much what like steroids are like usually made of. Is just like of the hormones that is like again that we all humans naturally produce in our bodies, and for that it's just like its intended use. Attended use is to reduce inflammation. Although like there are other ways to actually reduce inflammation than necessarily injecting something into your system. But again, the intended use and like prescriptions or whatnot is to reduce inflammation to an extent. Now, despite that, and also like adding like more muscles to it, at a disproportionate level at times too, if you have it like at a very high rate, the side effects of taking doses of steroids, especially a very high dose of steroids, we're talking about like extremely high, like you're just like pumping that all the time. And this goes as follows, you know, weight gain,
Oh, here.
mood swings, increase in aggression,
Nice
losing
it!
size in testicles, hair loss, increase in estrogen, heart and liver problems, body dysmorphia, and sleep irritation. So it's a lot of like things that are very bad for the body.
Dick shrink.
It does, and I just like mentioned that testicles losing size in testicles, meaning that your testicles are shrinking very very low because you're taking steroids.
Is it your testicles? I thought it was your actual like.
Oh, the penis?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I don't know. That's debatable, but most likely it's like the testicles that we have.
Mm-hmm.
One or the other or both actually shrink just as
Mm.
much as like it would be for the penis, I guess.
Nice
But
it! Come on!
yeah, just it's a not so great side effect at all, like for anybody, especially again, mood swings and increased aggression. Hold on a second, guys. Sorry about that, guys. Just had to do a quick break here because again, my little pipsqueak of a mom is still messing around with my stuff as per usual because she's a funny woman. But anyways, again, shout out to my mom. Otherwise, yeah, the side effects of taking like high doses of steroids is not good at all. It's just it can cause again, like I mentioned before we were cut off for a second, was again mood swings and increase in aggression, especially you know high amount of it too, where it's just like you feel irritated majority of the time, and it's just like it's usually uncontrollable, and it's not good at all. Like of course like it can happen due to like other things like mental health too, such as bipolar disorder or whatnot like that. But like with um steroids, that could like exacerbate the problem too. As a matter of fact, I forgot to add this, but definitely anxiety, like high amount of anxiety and panic attacks too. Like it's really really bad. And like speaking of which, one of the other issues is too like that has like caused a lot of like problems is like actually I'll get into that in a minute, but like body dysmorphia. That one is like pretty big too, especially if you're like a competing bodybuilder. Sometimes you'll just like feel like you're not shredded enough because people are going to say like, oh, you don't look impressive enough. Even though let's say if you're like at a reasonable decent body fat, such as like 10 to even sometimes 15% body fat. And like people will just like comment and say like, "Oh yeah, you don't look impressive," and whatever. Or sometimes it's even in the mind where you're just like, "Oh man, I'm not as like lean as I thought I was," or stuff like that. And it can also happen to the other extremes. Say like if you're a bigger person, but you end up like leaning out, but you still have like a little bit of a mindset that you're still that big kid despite making progress. And then that was actually my case too, where I was formerly a big kid when I was like, I think 11, 12, whatnot. I was like really big. I was like chubby or whatnot. And I ended up losing a little bit more of the weight there, but I still had a really bad body dysmorphia that, I'm still fatter, even if I like see that like my stomach too wasn't like all that bad. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I always had that like really unfortunate like problem with that sometimes when I was younger. But besides that, just like again, mood swings, increasing aggression, losing size in testicles, or as my mom pointed out, losing your penis, essentially. Hair loss. Oh, that's a big thing too. Like a lot of bodybuilders don't be having some great hair sometimes, and like that can kind of have some issues. Although you can still have some hair loss and you're a natural person, so that can happen. Definitely quite increase in estrogen and sometimes low testosterone depending on the situation. And like the biggest one is like heart and liver problems that pretty soon that we're gonna like get into with like the situation that happened with like of course one of the most like well recognizable bodybuilders in YouTube history, I believe, which was Rich Piana, I believe. I think you guys might remember that name. I kind of remember that name too. Like I knew he was like a big influencer back in the day. I just didn't quite remember much, but yeah, Rich Piana. We'll talk about him in a minute as to like the cause of death of what happened to Rich Piana. Again, rest in peace to him. I'm sure like he was a pretty good, wonderful person. Hopefully, he was, but you never really know. But again, rest in peace to Rich Piana. Anyways, yeah, like heart and liver problems is a big, big thing. Heart disease, heart attacks, shoot, just anything, just like abnormal in the heart, especially if you like take steroids, is gonna fuck your ass up. And same with the liver too. That will extremely fuck your livers up completely, my guy. So it's like, it's not good. It's really not good. And speaking of the risk, like, man, the risk of taking steroids, especially if it's like, prescription, provided by, the FDA or whatever or not, it completely outweighs any benefits. Again, such as reducing inflammation, like it was intended to use, or an increase in muscle mass and muscle size. Yes, that is a benefit. That is like a huge benefit. And majority of the time, you keep it on, or you keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And, people get a little suspect if it's, say, if you're, natural, but you're really not, but whatever. It's like, if you suddenly start to have like a big increase in muscle size and like muscle mass or whatnot, that give me a little bit of, give me a little sus sometimes. But yeah, definitely. It's like so risky that it not only affects the people for the short term and also the long term, but it can lead to their untimely deaths. Again, for example, most recognizable bodybuilder like Rich Piana, heck, even more recognizable too, Zez or ZYZZ, or I don't know how you actually pronounce the guy's name, but like yeah, and many more other bodybuilders that came before and after these well recognizable influencers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it can suck. Like it can range from like their untimely deaths of like if they were in their 20s or even in their 40s. It can like range from that sometimes too, and it's sad to see sometimes too because it's just like I could tell that they, even if they took one or not or whatever, it's like this is their livelihood. That might be just like something that they put their you know, food, their pretty much their whole entirely livelihoods on it. Again, trying to feed for a family. Trying to like pay the bill for the next bill that's coming up, and all types of things. Like it can be a tricky thing sometimes with bodybuilding, and also why I personally will never do bodybuilding under any given circumstances, because like again that's just not something I do. But for others it's like it's a completely different situation, and like even with their deaths too, it's like sometimes even on stage where it's like it's either it happens before, it happens during, or it happens right after, and it can really suck sometimes too. So it's like, especially like again, let's go back with like Rich Piana, and I think just for this example with again hard to pronounce his name sometimes, but Ziz ZYZZ. I'm just gonna just say Ziz, just to keep it consistent. But like their common deaths are usually like something going on like with the hearts majority of the time, and like it got so worse that they were I guess taken to the hospital and they were killed. I think that's or not killed. They were dead after what had happened to them. So again, this really sucks, and it's a very big risk. And yes, having a lot of muscles is cool or whatnot, but if it comes at your own health, that is when it gets really really bad. So again, rest in peace to Rich Piana and Ziz and everyone else that unfortunately passed away because of steroids. What I'm saying? Like it's it sucks. So my condolences again goes out to the families of these individuals that unfortunately are no longer here, and that's all I gotta say. Anyways, let's go ahead and continue with talk about steroids and stuff. So for this one, steroids are definitely heavily demonized in fitness, which usually cause unfair advantage in a given sport. For example, basketball, American football, or in Europe, football or soccer, however you want to say it. But anyways, football, combat sports, and baseball, and many others. Like, if anyone was like get popped with like anything like that, a lot of people would be like, what? That no, I don't like that this person did that, and yeah, it's definitely heavily demonized, even like in the fitness industry, where it's just like if you get popped doing that, and especially if you like been lying about that, yeah, there goes your reputation, man, because how the internet usually is. But yeah, it's not great. And speaking of which, this is where it gets really concerning. Teenagers are getting steroids by scary amounts. Check this. Approximately 4.9%, about at least 375,000 of young men, and 2.4 and 175 thousand of young women are taking or have admitted to taking steroids. Very, very concerning. And the reason why it is like, again, yes, the numbers are very, very small and a little bit minuscule or whatever. But it is still a little concerning that, there is a lot of teenagers out there that are taking steroids. It's really concerning. It's just as concerning as if, let's say, they are taking high amounts of, doping, or high amounts of, drugs or anything like that. Like, that can really suck. And again, I can understand that mindset because, again, as teenagers, even I was a teenager a very long time ago. I'm only 22, guys, but anyways, I can understand that mindset because like you want things done instantly. You want to be instantly popular. You want people to respect you by moving your body around. Yeah, moving your body around, but also like wanting to have like a sexy aesthetic body to please everyone. More importantly, if you're a man or not, or a sexual man, you want to oppress girl that you like in school or whatnot, and I guess vice versa for the girls as well to a certain extent. But it's just you know that instant gratification I can understand because it's just like you want things to be done now. You're not even concerned whether or not you want to like think about this long term. You just be like, nah, I want to get this done now. I want to get more followers. I want to get this. I want to get that. I want to have muscles. I want to have girlfriends. I want to have friends that actually care about me. And having that all at once, you don't even, without even like taking into account about like how you're able to manage all this. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, it's great to have all of it, but how are you able to manage it? You know what I'm saying? Especially in the long term. But yeah, I could definitely understand like in some ways, you know, taking steroids might be like the way to like get more bigger or more stronger or more aesthetic or whatever in the instant gratification mindset. And that right there is again not good at all because you're thinking short term, like, oh, I have more muscles, I have more this, I hit more PRs, and all this other stuff, and gradually getting stronger or whatnot. But then again, as we mentioned about the risk of taking steroids, that I'll just reiterate again real quick. Side effects one last time. Weight loss, weight gain, mood swings, increase in aggression, losing size into testicles, hair loss, increase in estrogen, heart and liver problems, body dysmorphia, and sleep irritation, and plenty of more. So, that again, those are the side effects or whatnot that can like really impact, a teenager extremely, extremely a lot. In fact, here we go. Even though steroids can be damaging to an adult man and adult woman because of the side effects and risk involved in taking steroids, as mentioned before, it is very, very dangerous. Even for someone that's an adult, that can be dangerous. It's also extremely dangerous to teenagers because, again, their bodies are not fully developed yet. And again, if a teenager, boy or teenage girl or whoever takes any dose of steroids, their bodies will end up slowly, again, it's gonna like get at them, like it's like rotting over time, and it's gonna like really fuck with them, and it could cause them to have like so many problems in their bodies. I mean, literally a lot of problems in the body that is like again highly unnecessary. Having some issues with liver, having issues with heart. With the guys, having like breasts, going on here because of high level amount of estrogen and just having so much problems. Even down there can be a problem too. Low libido, everything for the guys, and even for the girls too. If they took some steroids or a lot of steroids, it's going to be it's gonna suck for them as well, because then they're gonna have a bit more masculine qualities. Well, not masculine qualities, but like more testosterone. Say like they get like pubic hairs going around. Sometimes end up looking like the bearded lady somehow, and just all types of you know weird shenanigans that can happen if like a woman does take steroids too, and it really does fuck up their hormones completely because you know women's hormones, like my mom mentions, are completely different, and 4% of the time it works or whatnot, but otherwise it's just yeah. um Steroids, man, PDs or anything else like that, it's it's tough, bro. It really is. And like, as someone that has like never, again, I have never in my entire life, in my entire life, have ever taken steroids. I've been 100% fully natty. from when I first started, well, fitness or whatnot, seriously, at the age of 14 to where I'm currently at right now. Never once in my mind. I've, looked into, stuff about like steroids, like, you know, because of just like curiosity of like, how it all works and just like, how it's effective, how it's not effective, and all types of things. Just, just as educational purpose, just to like see what's going on with all that. But again, never interested in that. But again, besides that, it's just like, it's really damaging to sometimes too. And it's just like, I think about it, what is the fucking risk with this shit, bro? Sometimes I'd be thinking, honestly, being just 100% natty is just like, that's a lot more better to just like live for longevity's sake or whatnot. But again, I get it. I understand that there are gonna be some people that are gonna take steroids because of, a lot of other reasons. In which case, if you are a grown person that understands the risk of all, steroids and PEDs or whatever, do what you gotta do. Again, you know, I'm not your parent. I'm not, your father or what the heck ever, your guardian. Especially if you're a grown person. Like, figure that shit out yourself. Alright? But otherwise, just like understand, like, again, it's a risk. But, man, got like a couple more real quick to add. So, oh, and I think this is one. Oh no, I actually have like two more actually. Here we go. So, steroids are a complex situation for a lot of people, like I mentioned. Sometimes, for one, it's okay to use it depending on your circumstances and understanding of the risk involved in taking steroids. Just like with that, it's just like, whatever you do with it, it's up to you. But understand, it comes with a risk, so it's like you gotta understand that. Now, on the other hand, it's also highly unadvised for a person to, take steroids, and that also depends on their circumstances. Like, what do they realize maybe like the side effects of like having steroids or stuff like PEDs or SARMs or whatever is a very bad idea for them. It's like they don't want to take it for any other reasons. Now, however, it is 100% not okay for a young teenager to take steroids at all. Not only is it highly unethical and actually unnecessary, the risk is extremely high on the teenagers, actually even more so than an adult. Again, the risk is still the same. It's just that it's more of an extreme risk on the teenager's part compared to how it would be with the adults. But again, it is still the same thing. It is a big, huge risk on your body, especially if you're a teenager. So, fuck no, you should never take that shit. Let your body grow, and then when you are, again, old enough, as a matter of fact, we're going to be mentioning this real quick. I got carried away there, but anyways. Teenagers should at least stay natural for a long time. Like, preferably, they should stay natural for at least, 10, 20, or maybe even 30 years. And let's say they reach, I don't know, like their late 20s or late 30s or beyond that, like say, I don't know, 40 or 50, whatever years old, and they choose to like dabble in it, as like, fully functional adults or whatnot, again, it's highly up to them on whether or not they want to, again, stay natty forever. And I mean like forever, all the way up to if they're blessed enough to reach 100 years old or whatnot, or say fuck it, they give PED or anything related a try. Again, it's really up to the individual themselves on whether or not they want to take it, and understanding the risk involved in it. If they're adults, again, teenagers, fuck no, they should never take that shit ever. Like, don't do that. Especially if you are 14 years old, 15 years old, 16 years old, 17 years old, 18 years old, heck, even 19 years old. No. You should not do that. Like, let your body grow naturally. You already have hormones. You already have, a pituitary. Man, it's been a minute since I've been in school. Pituitary gland in the head, whereas like they produce like hormones to like grow your body through puberty or whatnot. Like you're probably still going through that. Just let your body grow, especially if you're like already exercising. Whether that's for your sports or you're just like doing it for weight stuff or just like to look a little bit better. Let your body grow over time. Yeah, you might look like you might not like get that yet. Say if you're like overweight or if you're like skinny or whatnot, then yeah, if you just take your time with this and just like maybe talk with a trusted coach or a trusted doctor about a lot of this, you're gonna be fine. All you gotta do is just again gradually get better over time, and then once your body is like fully developing and you become a fully developed adult, then you can decide on whether or not you want to do this and that. But for now, just for the teenagers out there that are actually watching this, all I want you guys to do is just like focus on you know training, focus on eating, focus on making sure that you're recovering a lot too, because like it can suck to have some like issues with recovery. I can understand that because for a bit I had some issues with that too. But otherwise, it's just like you should never think about taking steroids at all. Okay, like I said, let your body grow. You're only a teenager for a short period of time. Like take advantage of that, especially if you're like already into fitness already. If you're already doing that, just stick with it for at least for quite a long time until you are old enough to understand nuances and complex situations that goes on as an adult or whatnot. But for now, just focus on if you're already lifting, you know do what you gotta do with that. If you want to lift more, just again go with progressive overloads. Again, you should not take steroids under any given circumstances, no matter how old you are, especially if you're a teenager, okay? Like I just mentioned, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, all those ages, freak no. Heck no. Do not take that, all right? Like I had to literally hammer it in for the teenagers out there because, like, I want them to do better, you know? But yeah, just all I'm saying is just let your body grow over time. Okay, take your time with this. Again, I understand. Short term. You want this, this, and that. I get it. I understand. But do not take steroids ever. Bad idea. Just focus on what's important, and that is fitness and health. That should always be, your main thing. I hope that your trusted coaches or whatnot are at least teaching you that, and just like letting you know that that is more important than just having more muscles and more mass and just like feeling like have better performance. I guess whatever. Like it should always be important to at least like be healthy overall. But anyways, otherwise, the purpose of fitness should always, 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 always be about staying healthy, taking care of yourself physically and mentally. And fitness should be a welcoming community where no matter what we do in fitness, it doesn't matter if you are doing it to like, lean out and, you want to stay lean or you want to bulk up and, be a big brolic dude or, strong man or shoot, bodybuilding, the other sport, powerlifting, or anything else, like anything else that's in fitness or bodyweight, calisthenics, whatever it is, no matter what it is, we should always be a welcoming community to a lot of other people, especially the beginners that are gonna like beginning to start, on their journey to fitness. We need to spread positivity and love for the beginners, because we want to make sure that we leave a positive impact on another person's life, and just like making sure the new beginners that are like just coming in, and the fitness or whatnot, they feel safe, they feel secure, and most importantly, even if they mess up a few times, that's okay, because they get better over time. Like the long term, and just like with anything, should always be again about being the best version of yourself, but more importantly, staying healthy. That should always be your top priority, no matter what. No matter how old you are, that should always be your top priority, is staying healthy. Okay? Like if you're blessed to like already be walking right now or whatnot and doing what you gotta do, take advantage of that, because, you know, again, people that are unfortunate of like like crippled or anything else, it's gonna suck for them. But that doesn't mean like they don't like stop and like improve on themselves. Hell no, they'll figure out other ways to like do it. It'll be a lot harder, but again, take advantage of what you already have, and that should always be a priority as well. Take advantage of what you already have while staying healthy, and also just letting people know, the dangers that lurks outside of fitness, which is again steroids. So, anyways, I think that's gonna be it. All I gotta say is, for teenagers out there and for the beginners, you know, please take your time on this. I understand that you want to get things done instantly. You want to have, this type of muscle. You want to have that type of muscle. You want to look the best. And you know what? That's entirely fine. Because you know what? Even us advanced or, intermediate and advanced lifters, or just people that has been in the game for a very long time, completely understand that, because guess what? We were all beginners at one point in our entire life, thinking the same thing. I want to look, muscular, and I want to look like I can, lift something, or for other shallow reasons, like, oh, I want to get a girlfriend, or I want to get a boyfriend, or I want to get whoever I am in love with, or what the fuck ever. It's like, we all have like our own unique ways of getting to fitness, and that should always be celebrated no matter what. And for again the teenagers out there, understand this. Yes, you want to have all that, and that's entirely okay, because you know what, that is a goal. But do not cost your whole entire health in order to impress another person that probably doesn't give a shit about what you're doing necessarily. Like that's just weird, okay? Like it gets a bit weird if it's like if someone like you're doing that because like someone said, oh, you look too scrawny or you're too fat or whatnot. It's like, really think about what they're saying. Like really, really think about why they're even saying that to you in the first place. Is it because, yeah, you're fat or this and that? Like, okay, but that's also changeable. You can, maybe change it up. Or heck, if you want to be confident in yourself because of that, that's even more better, because you don't have to worry whether or not another person's, opinion. As a matter of fact, it doesn't matter. Their opinion doesn't fucking matter in the end when you start to really, love yourself, and start to like, really believe in yourself. And that's something I want to leave off with, is that you can believe in yourself. You don't even need steroids. You don't even need that shit at all. You can achieve whatever your body is as a natural. Whether if you want to be lean, go for it. Or if you want to be a bulky person, go for it as well. Or heck, if you want just the best of both worlds, you can literally have the best of both worlds. And that's just called recomping. And I know some people are going to be like, oh, recomping doesn't work, or main gaining doesn't work. It's like, you never know. Maybe give main gaining a try. Maybe give recomping a try. Maybe that might be something you want to do. Or maybe not. Again, we all are individuals. We have our own ways of, becoming fit, or becoming strong, or becoming whatever, or becoming the best version of ourselves, whether that's, being lean or being bigger. I don't fucking know. What matters again is, are you healthy? Are you still able to like continue going? Are you able to also, take care of, yourself physically and mentally? And that is also something that should, be taken into account. Are you okay physically? But also, more importantly, are you okay here? Because again, you can be physically okay, but up here is a completely different story. So it's just like, again, like I always preach, in my videos is like, take care of your mental health, because like that is also the most important thing. It's like, yeah, you might have muscles, you might have this and that, but you know what's also important? Having a brain, having a functioning brain. Because sadly, a lot of people, you know, focus a little bit too much on just, oh yeah, I want this and that, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that's also missing bigger picture, and that is always just making sure that you're okay here, because like the big battle isn't just like other people's opinions or whatever. It's always up here, and that can be a little bit of a different like subject we can talk about, but it's just, again, that is just as important as like taking care of yourself physically, because like if there's something like wrong that's going up here, it can also affect yourself physically, and it can affect your environment, it can affect everything. So it's, again, take care of your health, and more importantly, take care of your head, take care of your mental you know health or whatnot. I don't know why I said head. Anyways, I'm a weirdo. You don't have to listen to me. I'm just kidding. You can if you want, but I'm just saying, just like, again, take care of your mental health, no matter what. Same with teenagers. It's like, I get it. You know, you're feeling insecure about this, you're feeling insecure about that, and you're not too sure if this person's gonna like you because of this and that, and I understand that fear, but you should also go like this: does this person truly like me, even if I'm going through a lot in life? Like, always think about that. And like, let's say if you are going through some things in life and they're actually able to like be there for you, then that's a solid person that you can always have as a friend, or a lover. I don't know what it is, but it's just like, if they're showing that they actually truly care about you, hold on to that, because again, there's going to be people that are not going to care about that. Anyways, I think I kind of rambled on a little bit. I hope you guys, got some bit of lessons here and there about, steroids, and especially, if you're a teenager out there, like, I hope that I did a, you know, excellent or okay job to let you guys, know like, hey, this is not good, and just like, at least just like helping you understand, the repercussions of taking, these steroids, because like, I'm not trying to like, scare you guys and be like, oh yes, this is steroids are bad, why not, like, especially if you're an adult, like, do whatever you want, but it's just like, again, it's like important to like at least like list out that, yeah, you can have muscles, you can have muscle mass or whatnot, but it also comes at a huge cost, which is usually your whole entire body and also your mind. So it's like, it's not really necessary to like inject yourself into such huge amount of pain. Like, I've heard like even like some really scary stories, like where people that have like taken that have like even lost their lives from a lot of other things too. And yeah, it's just, it's it's never good to have steroids. So I say, just for the vast majority of us, just stay 100% natural. You really don't have to take steroids unless you really, if you like, pretty much like outweigh like a lot of like decisions or whatnot on whether or not you want to take it. Again, as an adult, an adult, you know, I'm trying to preface adult here, but if you understand the risk of where it's coming from, steroids, PEDs, or whatnot, then yeah, if you're an adult and you understand that and you want to still take it, go for it. Again, you're an adult here. That's up to you to decide on how you want to live your life. But again, you don't have to take this. You really don't have to take steroids at all. And I would rather have anyone else just stay 100% natural for the rest of their lives, preferably, you know, for a long time to like take care of themselves, because it is very very important to like do that. So anyways, I think I've rambled on a bit. If you guys have any questions, I mean any questions, even the teenagers that are probably gonna end up watching this, if you got any questions on like steroids and whatnot, let me know. Or just if you want to see some like cool stuff I got, hey, welcome to my channel. You can check out a lot of things. I'm Steroids and Why 21. I make some like pretty interesting content. Mostly quality content. Just stuff to like entertain people and just have a good time with that. And then just most importantly, I just want to like try to at least like spread some like positive messages to a lot of people. At least like to one. If you at least like get anything out of this video, is that take care of yourself no matter what, because that's all you really have is your whole entire being. So it's important to take care of that as best as possible, because who fucking knows what can happen tomorrow, or next day, or 5, 10, 15, a decade or centuries from now. Who knows what can fucking happen, because the future, let's keep it real, is endless. And it all depends on the choices that we make, today, tonight, whatever, the present day. What choices that we're making in the present day that will possibly have an effect for the rest of our lives, or for the rest of another person's life, depending on the choices we make in the present moment. Hopefully we make, better choices as, we figure out what's going on with life sometimes, but maybe not, I don't know. But just is more importantly, just to like, take care of it as best as possible. Take care of your life, especially in the present moment, and just be blessed that hey, I'm still here, I'm still doing my thing. So anyways, that's all I gotta say. Hope you guys enjoyed this little video. Dang, it almost went for an hour, but hey, I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's all I gotta pretty much really say. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and link the articles that I kind of mentioned, or not mentioned, but like pulled up a little bit from like my research on this. And that's all I gotta say. As always, take care of your health, take care of your physical health, mental health, anything else. And for teenagers, take your time with this one. Do not ever take steroids under any given circumstances. Again, that goes for someone that's 14 years old all the way up to 19 years old or 20. It doesn't matter. Do not take steroids. Please let your body grow. All right? Do not fuck it up for yourselves. And that goes for teenage boys, teenage girls, teenage who the hell ever. Do not take steroids. Never, ever take that shit. All right? Let your body grow. And most importantly, take care of your body. Take care of yourself. And make sure you have like dope friends that you aren't, make sure you have friends that actually care about you as well. For the mental health side as well. Because again, mental health is always important, just as much as important as the physical health, because they all, both intertwine. Because, if one or the other is having some issues, then it affects. But anyways, that's all I gotta say. God, I'm all over the place. Anyways, this is your boy Steroids and Why 21 signing out. And like I said, all my outros all the time. Peace, love, and positivity to all. And I'll see you guys in beautiful motherfuckers later. Stay peaceful, stay amazing, stay being true to yourself, stay being you. Don't do drugs, don't do something crazy like that. And just most importantly, love yourself. Be the best you can be, no matter who the fuck you are. Do not let opinions of other people drag you down because, they don't like that you are an amazing human being, regardless of whether or not you are a big person or a small person or whatever. If you are an amazing person, keep at it, because I love you. Anyways, peace, love, and positivity to all, and I'll see you guys another time, another day, another night. Just coming back on here to vibe again on YouTube, and hopefully reach millions, or maybe I'll just stick with what I got which is 75 subscribers that are watching my shit. Love you guys. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.